Hello and welcome to your in-depth weekly horoscope for week commencing the 29th of August. This is for the Sun or the Ascendant. As ever, I'm going to give you the major themes to look out for, but please stay with me. I will then dive deep to give you in forensic detail each of the 12 zodiac signs from Aries through till Pisces. This week begins with the Sun continuing its journey in the sign of Virgo. Virgo energy asks us to be more discriminating, to focus on the details of our situation. If we can make some small adjustments, that can add up to something more substantive. Anything to do with our physical health, the organisation of our situation, or even our jobs and pets, believe it or not, with the 6th house, can take on extra significance. But of course, the new moon, which occurred last week, is still reverberating around the heavens, and that's squared up with Mars, and that square with Mars does continue into this week. Now, this can add an extra dimension to this energy of Virgo, because Mars is in the sign of Gemini, which gives it a passionate desire to express ideas or to be more physically active. And the two together can create a kind of frenetic extra energy, and that makes it difficult to really focus ourselves and get grounded. So the key this week is really deciding on what the priorities are, narrowing our focus, and really putting our energy into achieving the significant things that we need to do first. But it's possible that someone could be a bit picky or irritable or overcritical, and we just need to be conscious of that. Now, it's the case that Mars actually forges a brilliant angle to Mercury, now in the sign of Libra, urging us to try to listen more attentively to others, be a bit more detached if people see things in a different way. But this angle to Mars suggests that if there are people that we can collaborate with and work on those details with, but we have some shared ideals that we can, or interests that we can collaborate around, then progress can be made. Mercury is also opposite Jupiter, which is quite a buoyant influence, but it's also important to not promise anything we can't realistically deliver, because Mercury is the communication, Jupiter's the optimism. Now, as we draw to the end of the week, there is on Saturday a quarter moon, and this quarter moon occurs in the sign of Sagittarius, which of course very much enjoys freedom, space and independence. So that need to focus on those responsibilities and obligations that comes from the Sun in Virgo is challenged somewhat. So even more reason not to readily agree or volunteer to anything if we don't have the available free time. Also, the square between Saturn and Uranus, which dominated year 2021 and the start of this year, they are inching closer together. They're going to be within 1 degree between the 2nd and also the 12th of October, but just be aware that the frustration that this particular aspect generated last year is likely to come much more to the fore. Remember, Saturn's about the structure but also the limitation. Uranus is about the truth but also the restlessness and rebelliousness, and therefore they are very conflicting energies. Now, please stay with me for your in-depth zodiac sign forecast, but if you would like to understand what year 2023 will hold for you and get the rest of 2022 free, plus your life roadmap, your character analysis, which can guide your moves, and get 30% off, please see my link beneath this video. And if you've yet to subscribe to my channel, I'd be honoured if you did so now. Please click or tap on the bell notification symbol. If you've already done so, thank you so much for your continued support. So Leo, your week commencing the 29th of August forecast sees Venus in your sign crunched by Saturn and also Uranus on Monday. So as much as Venus in our own sign can attract goodness to us, at this point of the week it may seem that things are a little tense. Maybe it's about money. Obviously the financial headwinds we're all facing are making us think much more about how we can manage our immediate future. And with Mars in the part of your scope to do with your future, clashing with the Sun in that part of your situation to do with everyday finances, that could be a point of contention. But Mercury is in a brilliant location and linking very positively to Mars and also Jupiter, suggesting dialogue this week can actually be very revealing and potentially very reassuring. And also I can tell you at the start of week commencing the 5th, some kind of financial good news can break for you that can delight you. That's a fact. But by Saturday, towards the end of this week, there is a quarter moon in your sister fire sign of Sagittarius. And this just brings up the desire to be a bit more spontaneous with your funds. You can be a very generous and kindly member of the zodiac. And there may be someone you want to treat towards the end of this week. But if someone approaches you for financial assistance, if this has become something of a pattern, you may feel this is the perfect time to just push back and set your boundaries. Now, Saturn and Uranus are not just tense on Monday, they are getting closer in their square, and it is going to reach a peak between the 2nd and 12th of October. Just think about some of the energies that manifested themselves in 2021, and that gives you a little bit of an idea of where this may occur this time around. So I think it can be about professional relationships or about where you're going to work and how that impacts on your personal relationship. So I think that also can be another theme that's just simmering beneath the surface. But if you're interested in anything to do with a collective, some kind of group, or perhaps to do with a circle of friends where you have a unity of belief or some kind of cause that really joins you together, Mars in the sign of Gemini is going to be extremely fortunate for you generally through to next March, although of course in October and November this year it is going to be in a bit of a murky angle with Neptune, the planet of longer term finances. But generally, even though the Sun and Mars are tense this week, just caution you not to be too impulsive. The situation for you does give you opportunities, particularly with Jupiter in your 9th house in such a positive angle with Mercury. So some kind of conversation can give you a lot of uplift this week.